Okay, so let's talk about a skill that, in today's world, is becoming just as vital as eating right or getting enough sleep. I'm talking about financial resilience. And we're going to dive into what that really means, because trust me, it's about way more than just having a bunch of money in the bank. It's about building a financial foundation that can handle pretty much anything life decides to throw at you. You know the feeling, right? The car makes a weird noise, and suddenly you need a new transmission, or an unexpected medical bill just shows up. That little lurch in your stomach, that's what we're tackling today. How do we get ready not just for the good times, but for those inevitable and often expensive surprises? And this right here is the heart of it. This isn't some get-rich-quick scheme. It's about building a system, a mindset, and yeah, a few key habits that let you absorb those financial shocks without sending your whole life off the rails. It's all about gaining control, feeling secure, and honestly just getting some peace of mind. So let's get a really clear official definition on the table. When we say financially resilient, what are we actually talking about? What are we trying to build? Here it is. It's your ability to adapt, bounce back, and keep moving forward. I want you to notice those action words. Adapt, bounce back, move. See, this is a dynamic skill, not just a static number in your bank account. It's all about your financial flexibility and your strength when the pressure's on. And this is a great way to think about it, breaking it down into three core pillars. First, can you absorb a shock? Like losing your job or a huge repair bill. Second, can you adapt your lifestyle without having to raid your retirement savings? And third, how fast can you recover and get yourself back on track toward your long-term goals? Okay, so how do we build up those pillars? Well, you'd never try to build a house without knowing what the ground underneath is like, right? It all starts with one simple and, yeah, sometimes kind of scary, but absolutely critical first step: awareness. You gotta know your numbers. All right, let's do a quick gut check and be honest with yourself. Right now, without looking at an app or a statement, do you have a pretty good idea of what you spend every month? You'd be surprised how many people don't. But knowing where your money is actually going, that's like finding the "you are here" dot on the map. Next up, debt. It's a word that can feel heavy, right? Student loans, credit cards, a car payment. What's the full picture look like for you? Knowing not just the total amount you owe, but also what the interest rates are on each of those debts, that is a massive piece of this whole awareness puzzle. And finally, the big one, your safety net. If your main source of income disappeared tomorrow, do you have a cushion to fall back on? Even a small one? Again, no judgment here, just an honest look at your starting point, because that's where the real building begins. And this just says it all perfectly. Trying to get your finances in order without really tracking what's coming in and what's going out, it's literally like trying to navigate a maze blindfolded. You might stumble around and get lucky, but you're way more likely to just keep walking into walls. Awareness is you taking off the blindfold. Okay, so you've taken the blindfold off. Now what? Now we get to the fun part. We can start putting in place 5 simple, everyday habits that are going to become the absolute bedrock of your financial resilience. We're going to run through each of these one by one, creating that all-important spending buffer, the art of living below your means, getting creative with diversifying your income, tackling debt with a smart strategy, and maybe most importantly, building up your own financial know-how. Think of these as the tools in your resilience kit. First up, that spending buffer. Look, the advice to save 3 to 6 months of expenses can feel completely overwhelming. So for now, let's just forget about that. The key insight here is to start small. Your very first goal, just $500 to $1,000. That amount alone can turn what would have been a crisis into just an inconvenience. Because that's what this buffer really buys you. It buys you breathing room. It means when the dishwasher breaks, you're making a decision from a place of confidence, thinking, okay, I got this, instead of from a place of pure panic and stress. It totally changes the emotional game. All right, habit number 2, live below your means. Now, this is not about depriving yourself. It's about being intentional. And this question right here is a powerful little tool. Before you click buy now or tap that card, just pause, take 1 second and ask, is this a real need or is this just an impulse? That tiny little pause can literally save you thousands of dollars over time. Habit 3 is all about diversifying your income, which is just a fancy way of saying don't put all your eggs in one basket. But to do that effectively and to really master all these other habits, you need habit number 5, building your financial literacy. You have to know the rules of the game you're playing. And the great news is it's never been easier to learn. You can listen to podcasts, read books, talk to a professional, and hey, don't forget about the resources at your local credit union. They're there to help. And a huge part of that financial knowledge is knowing how to approach habit number 4, managing your debt. Because there's not one single right way, it's about picking the strategy that you will actually stick with. For example, you've got the 2 most popular methods here. The debt snowball is all about psychology. You pay off the smallest debts first to get those quick wins and build momentum. The debt avalanche is pure math. You tackle the highest interest debts first, which saves you the most money in the long run. Neither is wrong. It's about knowing yourself and picking your tool. Now let's just zoom out for a minute and connect all this to something even bigger. Because financial stress, well, it doesn't just stay in your bank account, does it? It seeps into your health, your mind, your relationships. So building financial resilience is truly an act of self-care. It's wellness for your whole life. And you can practice this stuff every single day. Little things, right? Start your morning reviewing your financial goals, not just your social media feed. Use that mindful pause we talked about when you're shopping. And take a moment each day to actually feel grateful for what you already have. It can totally shift your perspective from one of scarcity to one of stability. And this might be the most important mindset shift of all. You are going to have setbacks. Everyone does. You'll overspend one month or make a bad investment. The key is to reframe it. It's not a failure. It's a lesson. It's just data telling you what you need to adjust for next time. So, here is the ultimate takeaway from all this. I don't care where you're starting from today. You could be drowning in debt or sitting on a nice pile of savings. It doesn't matter. Your journey to becoming more financially resilient can start right now. The power to change your financial story is completely in your hands. And I really want to leave you with this idea because it just says everything so perfectly. That power, it's not just in your wallet. It's in you. The apps, the strategies, the bank accounts, they're just tools. The real power source for building a resilient life is your own intention, your discipline, and your belief that you can actually do this. So I'll leave you with this one question. Not what are you going to do tomorrow or next week. Today, what is one small, totally manageable step you can take right now to start building your foundation? Maybe it's just setting up an automatic transfer of $10 to savings. Maybe it's just looking up the interest rate on your credit card. Whatever it is, that's your starting line. Start there.